Welcome, my children, to Halloween. Now, as always, we review a Scooby-Doo movie. We've reviewed good ones like Lego Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood, and we've reviewed piece of crap ones like Scoob. And I'm glad that sequel is dead.
Yes.
So now, let's watch a movie, and yes, I know, Brad reviewed this one already, but I wanted to review it, well...
We watch a lot of Scooby-Doos.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
And this is a connection to Haunted Hollywood because it also has Elvira.
Yay!
And it has Bill Nye the Science Guy.
And was it Phyllis Diller that was the reporter? Oh, not as herself. Got it. Okay.
Phyllis Diller?
Yeah.
Isn't she dead?
Was she dead at this time of the movie?
Didn't she die like 5 or 10 years ago?
Okay. I'm not sure, I guess.
So, basically what's going on is that they solve a mystery with the Scarecrow from Arkham Asylum. So this is in the same universe as Batman. This will get confusing later. So
It reminded me more of the Joker.
The Scarecrow character?
Yeah.
Yeah, but his character was a Scarecrow.
Yeah. But how he acted and what he said and what he did.
Oh, Scooby-Doo. Or Warner Brothers, you're not listening because you've probably blocked me because of Scoob. But if you do another one, if you do another DC crossover, do a movie with Harley Quinn.
Didn't they do one?
I don't think so.
I thought they did. One by herself?
No, a Scooby-Doo Harley Quinn crossover movie.
Got it. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have it as humans or cartoon?
I would have it animated, but,
Well, they did Elvira pretty good. Animated.
yeah.
Okay.
Except for at the end where she looked really weird. And it's like, well, like,
Because she was trying to look like Daphne.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, wide cheek like cartoonish. Oh, bald.
Yeah. Yeah, we might as well... So basically what's going on is that they solve a mystery with the Scarecrow, and then it's revealed that... then there's jack-o'-lanterns. They're pumpkins.
Pumpkins. With a lot of Halloween spirit. That's why they're...
Flying pumpkins.
Yeah, with their vines hanging down.
Mm-hmm.
To make them look sort of like a...
octopus.
not octopus. Not eel.
No, they look like octopuses. Or octopi. Well, I guess I don't need to see Purple People Eater now.
Yay!
I'll see it. It's a comedy. Just like, Attack of the Hollywood Bimbos or something.
I thought you were going to say Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
That's all. This also kind of seemed like some of it might have been inspired by Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes.
Anyway.
As long as it's not Killer Clowns from Outer Space, right?
Oh, God, no. We're not seeing that.
She's clown-phobic, people. I don't get it either.
I don't like clowns because clowns can be nasty.
I don't get it either, people. So, no one believes Scooby and Shaggy, thinking they're just, like, crazed on candy. But then they actually are. And meanwhile, Daphne is a super fan of Elvira and wants to dress like her for a Halloween party. Fred is traumatized because of the near loss of his love, the Mystery Machine.
Yeah, and he's kind of already
which,
dressed in a partial skeleton
which
costume.
honestly,
He didn't sound like Fred.
well, yeah, well, which is odd because it's voiced by the same actor. But something that I think is weird is that if you take out Scoob, because from what I've heard, that's not canon with all the other Scooby-Doo movies. This is still a piece of junk. Um, I'm trying to think, has there ever been a case where Fred has, like, really loved the Mystery Machine?
He's always driving it, but you don't know that.
No, there's been
Like
times.
he's listening to it in
There's
this
there's been
movie and
times
stuff.
there's been times when Shaggy has driven it, Daphne has
Yeah,
driven it,
I've not really seen Shaggy. Well,
and
Daphne
well,
drove it.
we saw it in one of the this cartoon or this movie three includes like three bonus cartoons. And what was it? Was it Be Cool Scooby Doo where she drove, or was it? No, it was What's New Scooby Doo, I think, where or maybe that was the one where Shaggy drove it. But in the videos that I've shown you, like the new Scooby Doo mysteries, Daphne drove it,
Hmm.
and in this one, Velma kind of drives it. Uh, so yeah, it's Attack of Killer Pumpkins. Um, okay, I have a question about this movie's logic or internal lore and logic. Okay?
Got it.
This is a world where the Scarecrow exists. Arkham exists, so then Batman exists. However, when Bill Nye went to trick-or-treaters, there was someone apparently dressed as Aquaman. But he says, while that is true, the mythology of Aquaman is highly exaggerated or like far-fetched. So, in this movie's universe, are they implying Batman is real, but Aquaman is a comic book?
I don't know. You caught on to that, but I didn't.
Um, I don't, I don't hate, I don't, I like, I'm not trying to get on a rant here, but this movie felt like Velma the movie almost.
Well, she was
It
the
was,
smartest one.
well, not just that, but it was like mainly her story for most of it. She was like, usually in some cases, Shaggy and Scooby are like the default like
Well,
main
yeah,
characters.
when she unmasked the straw man and then unmasked that man,
Well, no,
then
no.
yeah, he had two masks on.
Well, what I'm implying is that so much of this movie is about Velma.
Yeah, because he said to Velma, "We are so alike." Blah blah blah.
No, not only that, but even the big thing at the end, it's mainly about her. And
When she said,
she
"I
keeps,
am scared."
yeah, like that big thing. And oh, Fred turns into Rambo. Okay. But you didn't expect that, people.
But Rambo didn't rip his shirt off.
Well, he already was shirtless, wasn't he?
Not always.
I thought he was.
No. Had a green army t-shirt on or something. He probably could have just flexed his muscles and it would have ripped, but
Elvira's in it. She's kind of enjoying poking fun at herself, but I don't know, it kind of feels like the writing wasn't up to par. Um,
I didn't think it was bad.
this is this is a very, this is kind of a different style of Scooby-Doo. It doesn't necessarily have a lot of jokes. It seems like it's more on the horror and the action and the chasing. Car chasing, not necessarily running chasing. And I think I know why. This is directed by Maxwell Adams.
Who's that?
Yeah, you don't want you. She was too young, folks, to watch Cartoon Network in like the 2000s, but I was young enough to. Yes, I am that old now. Um, he did a lot of stuff like The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Hector con Carne. So this kind of did have that kind of style of The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, where it did focus on like scariness more so than humor, in my opinion. Like it felt like it needed a few good jokes. There are some references, like there's a reference to Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles. So does Frankenstein Jr. Does is that never mind. I could assume that could be
because I don't know what it is.
Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles. That was one of Hanna-Barbera's two shows in 1/2 hour, where Frankenstein Jr. was like a superhero and the Impossibles were just basically like
Kim Impossible?
No, they were like I think they were like three Beatles knockoffs that solved crimes or were superheroes or something. I think that's what it is. I'm pretty sure. So it was like 2 11-minute episodes of that.
Okay.
So that's a reference to a Hanna-Barbera. That's kind of cool. And there's another reference to a pup named Scooby-Doo because it says red herrings, which is this in canon with a pup named Scooby-Doo?
Well, she talked about how they started, remember?
Yeah.
With a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, so okay, that would make sense, I guess. But one thing I don't really get, and I don't know, unless you want to buy the theory that every Scooby-Doo movie is set in its own continuity.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, then this is fine, but if you don't, then there's kind of a struggle here because Velma says in the movie that we've always unmasked ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that, but in other Scooby-Doo episodes of TV shows, and even in other movies that Kate McCucci has been in, or Kate McCucci has voiced. Oh, no, this isn't Magic School Bus Rides again. In other movies where Kate McCucci has voiced Velma, that's not entirely true. Because she voiced Velma in Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the 13th Ghost, which is a continuation of the show, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, where the monsters were real. So either this movie takes place in a different universe, it's a separate universe, or that's a glaring continuity error, or Warner Brothers just wants to play it safe and trick people into always thinking Scooby-Doo unmasked a villain.
Probably.
That would make sense why some Scooby-Doo stuff hasn't been released on Blu-ray in some cases. Hasn't been released on Blu-ray, like the 13 Ghosts and the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries, because, or even the Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo shows, some cases, because those were just magic and monsters.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Zombie Island was released on Blu-ray, and that had real monsters.
What you gonna do?
Oh well.
They had a reason at the time. Maybe they didn't think it through as much as you did.
I found Bill Nye kind of well, okay, he did have a point, kind of, but he was like, I don't know if he necessarily needed to be in this movie.
Yeah, he did. Because after the Mystery Machine was being towed away, he came out with Mystery Machine X or whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You could have just made it to where the Mystery Machine didn't get broken, and...
Yeah, but then the ending, the extra scenes, was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
With toast
We'll spoil
and donut.
it. We'll spoil it. It rips off... It's like a parody of Frankenstein, right down to, like, plugging it in and going, "It's alive! It's alive!"
Yeah, but it was like...
Or maybe that was a reference to...
Scooby had a tire and then turned it into a donut, and then, what's-his-face had the car door, turned it into toast or sandwich.
Mm-hmm. I think they were maybe just, like, hallucinating or something.
Mm.
Like, maybe they were so hungry
that
that's what they were
candy.
thinking of.
Yeah, they didn't eat dinner.
And is this the first... I don't know if this is canon, but this is the first time I've ever heard, Velma talk about her mind palace.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
So that's odd.
And she let Scooby in.
And Shaggy.
And Shaggy, yeah.
Um...
And it was kind of cool when they were fighting to smash the pumpkins.
Yeah.
That candy came in handy.
Yeah, at the beginning.
No, that was in the middle. Towards the end.
We're using
Shaggy has a machine gun?
No, using Scooby as a machine gun.
I mean, Scooby.
Yeah, that was the beginning, like, getting them out at the beginning. This is before the Scarecrow was put away. Yeah, that was at the beginning. That was in, like, the first 10 or 15 minutes.
So he didn't go after the pumpkins. He went after the first,
yeah,
drones.
This movie, I mean, if some people probably aren't as critical of me of Scooby-Doo, especially since this was a direct-to-video movie. It wasn't a theatrical thing that you had to pay, like, or you could get on VOD for like $30. That's another reason why I didn't like Scoob. This is I would say this is more creative than Scoob. I don't know if it's necessarily it's probably maybe the same amount of funny or maybe a little funnier than Scoob, but that's not a huge bar to cover. That's pretty much like going over a line that is drawn on the ground. Like, it's kind of tough to be that. It's kind of tough to, like, not be above it.
Mm.
Just remake Scoob and it would probably be an improvement. No. Redub Scoob. Put in Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, and maybe redub Captain Caveman, and maybe that movie, redub Blue Falcon and Dynamite, so Blue Falcon is a genius and Dynamite is an idiot, and I don't know, maybe that movie would be a little bit better.
Could be.
Be better than this, Scoob! What, is Shaggy going through puberty in that movie or something?
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Except according to a puppet named Scooby-Doo, he sounded the exact same way too, so...
Let's wrap it up.
Was he taking...
Would you recommend this if you're a Scooby-Doo fan?
This movie, it's pretty harmless. Like, there's nothing super gory or... It might be a little scary, but not super scary. If you're, like, maybe 6 and above, 6 to, like, maybe 10 or... maybe even 12 or 13, maybe you'll enjoy this movie. I would still say Lego Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood is still one of the best of these movies that I've seen.
Just seeing them as Legos was cute.
Yeah, and all those Lego puns and Hollywood puns, and that one had Elvira playing Drella Diabolic or something. Um, it's not a horrible movie. It's better than Scoob. I don't. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I mean, I'm sure there's worse Scooby Doo movies out there.
Oh, I'm sure there's worse movies of everything out there.
Like the Mystery Map, where it was them with hand puppets. Um,
Overall, I didn't think it was that bad. I tend to like Scooby Doo.
you didn't think it was that bad?
Yeah, I was super tired yesterday, folks, trying to watch this.
You can understand. I mean, how can I expect someone to stay awake during an 80-minute movie?
It happens.
Anyway, tune in next time where... let's see what we're gonna... Let's see. Can I have the phone?
It's way over there. Oh.
Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Zombie 8. That's more a snob review. Night of Horror, too dang boring. Death Row Game Show. I could always return it to Amazon if I buy it. Unhinged. Yeah, if you can stay awake for an 80-minute movie, you can't stay awake for an 82-minute movie. Tales from the Quad Dead Zone? No. Come on, what's a horror comedy movies for people who hate horror? Oh! We could review that one.
What one?
See you next week.
Which one? Hey, come on, which one? Bye.
Well, tell you what, if you don't like it, then I'll do the review by myself, okay?
Okay, deal.
Demanding.